cool cats? Looks like we're live. Oof. And my hair is definitely reacting to all this humidity. It is super humid today in the Texas Bayou. Let me tell you, it feels like it could rain at any moment, but I don't think it's supposed to. Don't think it's supposed to. Much like yesterday and the day before. But I did see that coming, so watered last night, mowed yesterday. All right, today we're doing a piece from scratch. What's up, Carrie? I'm doing a piece from scratch today for the Rugby Melee Games Made a Monster expansion for Dungeon Crawl Classics by Goodman Games. And I got a few things that I still have to do for them, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do today. It's only a quarter page. It's probably going to end up being a half page, but they'll shrink it down. The order was for a quarter page. But considering the subject, I think I'm going to have to make it a half page. And today's top 5 is top 5 cryptids, and as always, while I'm doing this, if you have any Procreate questions, digital art questions, if you want to add your top 5, what have you, anything really, like I said, AMA, feel free to put it in the chat or in the comments, and I will do my best to get to it. I'll transcript what I'm doing on Procreate for the most part. In case you don't catch the other shows, in case you've never been on Procreate and you want to learn some stuff, I'll try and narrate. So Procreate is an iOS only, iPad only. I think it's iPad only. I would hope. It'd be silly to have it on an iPhone. Anyway, it's an iPad only art program that's pretty much, if you're familiar with Photoshop and Affinity in them, a lot of the stuff is similar, yet streamlined. It also works with the Apple Pencil, depending on your iPad, either Apple Pencil 1 or Apple Pencil 2. Works with the Apple Pencil, which is pressure sensitive, which is why I like it so much. So you can press down harder to get thicker. It really depends on the brush you're using, but you can press down harder for added effects, or lighter, or you can turn it sideways and you can use the side like a Sketchist, which is what I used to be as a Sketchist. So we're going to hit the plus and we're just going to add a paper and we're going to keep it sideways because this is going to be a landscaped picture. We're going to get black. And we're going to get a sketching brush. I typically use peppermint. And I never change the size. So this is usually the brush that I use for all of my rough sketches. I always do a rough sketch when I'm doing a character design, which is what this is. These are visually non-existent characters that are up to me on how they look. So when I'm trying stuff, I do a sketch. I used to be a sketchist anyway, so I do a very rough sketch. Don't detail it much because I'm the one responsible for the inking phase, which is what I call the line art phase. Yeah. And in this picture, we've got orcs and or bugbears talking to each other. So a little while ago, I had kind of an idea of where I want to go with this. I think I'm going to do an orc and a bugbear. And I kind of know, well, I know what one of them I know what I want one of them to be doing. Kind of iffy on the other one. Let's see. So yeah, since the Chaos Beast, we did an up-looking piece. I kind of don't want to do that this time. My tokens just about always use a bird's eye view, so I kind of don't want to do that this time. So we may be just dead on. Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger. Like that one's closer. I wanted that arched back because I was thinking of doing um, arms on their hips. I kind of, I was kind of thinking like a very unamused look coming from this one, but I don't know. I'm not sure that it fits with that angle, that pose. Maybe. Stew on that. Okay. While I'm stewing on that, so the top five today, cryptids, of course, inspired by what I'm doing, the work on Made a Monster, but also um, there's some debate on what a cryptid is. According to Webster, I think that's the way we do this. So according to Webster, a cryptid is a creature that's been reported, but there's no scientific evidence of it. Um, so just about any fantasy creature would fit into this category, right? Um, well, maybe not just any, but there's been, through the ages, there's been reports of fairies and leprechauns, gnomes, vampires, werewolves, etc. Actual reports. So theoretically, they could all fit in there. So that's where we're getting our top five for the day. My one's probably, I can probably go ahead and put my number one in there. Yeah, I'm pretty simple. Sirens are pretty cool. They're definitely a cryptid that's kind of evolved over the centuries. I could say millennia on them, right? Yeah, over the millennia, siren have evolved quite a bit. Yeah, the face just, I can't get the face to fit the pose, unfortunately. We'll just do an actual conversation. It's what it's supposed to be anyway. It's like I'd have to pick between that face or that pose. Okay. I don't think sirens would make my top five. I like them. There's some cool sirens in my stories, but I don't know that they'd make my top five. Orcs don't fit because orcs have not been reported, so I can't. Orcs are not a cryptid; they're just a fantasy race. But I do like orcs. Goblins will fit. Goblins are probably my number two. I I just love goblins. Oh, red caps are cool. Most of the Sealy court are cool. Ironically, angels would fit in here. Angels are theoretically cryptids. I want this to be a very muscular back. That's why I keep messing with this. Maybe there. Oop, nope. Already had that draw and then I went wild. What the hell? I'm already spending way too much time on detailing. I need to get my poses down before I do this. I just get carried away so easily. Oh, actually I fixed my angle so I can actually do this now. Or I kept my angle. Fixed both actually, I suppose. I fixed my angle by keeping my angle. Kind of want to put a weapon in one of those hands. I'll work on this one while I'm thinking of it. And like I've mentioned before, you can body bag these, you can potato sack these. Those are a couple of pose tricks. I kind of body bagged them. It's kind of what you're looking at, or potato sacked. Uh, but I think I want this one to be a bugbear, so I want her to be a bit bigger boned. Which means the other one needs to be a little thinner, maybe. Maybe. They could just both be big. I've just never drawn a female bugbear, so I kind of want to. Yeah, Fae's kind of all-encompassing. Fairies and Fae kind of alludes to elves and fairies and pixies and all that. Um, but I think you just mean fairies, and I get it. I think that's big boned enough for. I think that works. That is way bigger than I wanted. I kind of wanted the bottom jaw to be a little. Let's do this. I just about always do crooked teeth. Just about always. So she's supposed to be upset that her goblet got stolen. Um, so I wanted her to look like she's having an upset conversation. With me, more than anything, more than detail, um, maybe not anatomy, more than realism, more than detail, more than anything, I want the picture to talk. Like, I want to capture personality. I want to capture a scene, an action, mood. Yeah. And that pose is also going to make her have kind of a double chin. Her chin's going to double up right there because of it. And she's a bugbear, so we'll give her some jowls. Okay. That is not the angle that I did. That is. Okay. But she's going to have some massive shoulders. No, that's still not the angle I did. They're going to be more in the back because, yeah, there we go. That's better. Well, she's looking cool. Just need to work on the other one. The other one is suffering from me being indecisive. But that's what we do the rough sketch for, right? We do the rough sketch so that we can just make things look iffy for a while. Yeah. This is a quick way of erasing large areas of stuff if you don't have bad circulation in your busted hand. Yeah, her head's probably a little big. Maybe. Just a little. I was thinking it might be. That's much better. And she's going to be so big that her abs are not going to be super defined either. Probably a little more than that, though. But I also haven't decided what she's going to be wearing. So we'll go ahead and clean that ab slate. We'll go ahead and clean this side over here. I think I already got the ribs right, so that may actually be definition enough for her. Bugbears are hairy, plus she's so big. She's probably, some of that is just probably girth, you know. So I don't want her to be too muscularly defined. Um, I'm still deciding on an outfit. I'm always tempted to do a chainmail bikini. Always tempted to do a chainmail bikini. Okay, judging by her thickness, she's probably going to be like that. That may actually be a little long. That's a little long. Like that. There we go. Because like that. Yeah. And then this one's going to be stressing a little bit, so they'll be a little more defined. There. There. Ah, we'll keep her big. Dadgummit. Oh yeah, so I didn't do one of these yesterday. I think I'm only do 6 days a week because I just need that seventh day to work in my gardens. So I believe Sundays I'm just going to have off from here, which means catch me Mondays through Saturdays. Plus I got a little time with my oldest yesterday, so yeah. Okay, and then so this shoulder should raise up a little bit because she's leaning on it. And then again, I don't want to put too much detail because I want her to be just, thick as well, not just super defined. In fact, that's probably a little too defined there. I might go back over that. So we just want a thick gal, thanks to all the fur and meat. I'll be honest, I don't even know what she's leaning on yet. We'll come up with something. I tend to draw bugbears with bigger hands also, so I might increase the size on this hand a little bit. That's about right. That's about where I usually do it. Again, she is my first female bugbear. Vampires and goblins, vampires and goblins. I do like a good werewolf. Man, there's something about a possessed doll. I do like a good possessed doll. Technically a cryptid, because I can think of at least one example of an actual report of a possessed doll. That might make my top five. Chimeras, I don't think chimera. So chimera is really a general category, and I also don't think they count. I don't think they count as cryptids. I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think they count. So I don't think I can say Chimera. I love Chimeras though. Hmm. 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 I mean, ghosts are kind of a cop out. Could put ghosts in there. It just feels like a cop out. Everybody likes ghosts, right? Grays. Grays count. I do like grays. Um, again, I want her arm to be kind of squishy, so even though she's got it, I want her to have a big bicep. But A, the pose she's using, plus she's not flexing, so her bicep is going to flatten out, and it's going to hang more than I was actually having it hang. Not the bicep. The bicep, the arm is going to, the meat of the arm is going to hang. So we'll have it. Yeah, yeah. Does that look the same size? That one looks a bit bigger. Yeah, go with that. So we're just not going to see much of the hang on this one because it's hidden. Zombies theoretically are cryptids because they're from zombies, which are actually reported. So zombies could fit in here. I'm not sure. I might be zombied out. I'm not sure zombies are going to go in my top five. I do love a good zombie flick, but I'm old. I've seen a lot of zombie flicks, you know what I mean? Chupacabra is not really my thing. I guess the leprechaun's probably going to go on there. And I think I should have her chest be really pronounced. I think that looks pretty cool. Might even be a little hairy. Might have a hairy chest. Yeah, that looks cool. That's too much. I may do the muscle lines. I may. We'll see. I've still got to do the hair if I do a hairy chest. So that's what I'm battling with. A lot of battling going on in my head right now. She's looking cool though. I like her. You can also see, so this will droop here. Let's do that. But you can still kind of see muscles in her forearms. Not too much. Not too much. Like there. Like there. That may be it. Maybe spending too much time again, because like I said, I've still got to put clothes over this. But this is what you do with character concept, character design. Um, this is pretty typical. A lot of people will have like the same pose. They'll have a, just a generic character design, character concept sheet, template that they go by. Um, oh, that thumb. That's got to change. The thumb's going to be poking out. So it's going to be more like that. And then like that. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of people use the same template for their character or for their character concept design, character designs, etc. Whatever you want to call it. I've heard it both ways, and I don't know. I don't really do that. But when you're doing concept, you're going to just play with the stuff. I'm getting super defined again. We'll do that. I may leave it there. In fact, I'm going to get rid of a little of that. That looks a lot better. Okay. So is this? Oh yeah. So when you're doing character design, like I said, you're just going to play with stuff a lot. You're going to do a lot of erasing probably. You don't worry about that shit. Don't get frustrated with yourself. Like I'm already getting frustrated with myself for this one. You just got to not do that. It's you're you're trying to create something new first of all. Um, you're probably going to be sending it to somebody um, that is going to tell you whether they like it or not. That's why I give 3 kickbacks right there. And um, you don't generally get like pose descriptions when you're doing character design. Since this is a piece, it's both character design and, um, an actual piece. These aren't established characters, so it's like free character design, I suppose. Depending on what she's leaning on, that hand pose will work just fine. And that hand should be a little bit bigger. It was bothering me at first, but it's the angle it's at. It should be bigger. Okay. Although, Gus, hush, hush. Hush. That's better. So now I gotta fix the size. Ah, well, maybe not. We'll just do this. That kind of, I think that fixes it. Theoretically, it's coming at you anyway, so I guess that works too. Okay, so she's good. I just got to get her. I got to figure out what I want to do for her hair. I got to figure out what I want to do for her clothing, and other than that, she's fine. I like her. She's sexy. Um, Ponytail, maybe? They're just so hairy. I want to take advantage of the hairy. So hairy. I want to take advantage of the hairy. All right, top five vampires, goblins. I like Revenant a lot. Revenant and Durger are kind of the same thing. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's do an intermission, and I'll think about my remaining three and the second piece, and then we'll come back. So take five. We'll be right back. Okay. I remember the one that I said earlier that I promptly forgot. Puka are pretty cool. I do like Puka. Puka might make my top five. I like red caps. I like Puka. Ghost is a cop out. See, I like grays, but I prefer like little green men. Um, they don't have a term for that like grays. But I love a good green Martian with a bowl on its head. What would that classify as? There. Oh, that's gonna get in the way of the art, isn't it? Yeah. There is just something about like an over the top, like Tim Burton's Mars Attacks, which was based on, bubblegum trading cards. Um, there's just something about those big cranium space invaders, over the top space invaders that are like mean and really smart but naive. Um, yeah. And grays fit into that category sometimes. Like the early reports are either gray or green. I just prefer the green ones that become the over the top, goofy. Yeah, that's what I like. Okay, number five. This one might take a while. I'll work on this other one. Oh yeah, I was thinking about. I like her. I think I like her as is. I think she good. We just need to put the hair on her. Okay, and this one. God, honestly, this one I might just redo. I'll play with it a little bit. It's just not speaking to me. You got to listen to the pencil. When the pencil is speaking to you, you listen. When it's not, you question. Yeah, I don't think I like that one. We're going to start this one from scratch. I like the butt on that one. That was about it. And we could do them separate too. I mean, I could do it on here. It'd be kind of funny. We could put this one like this. That'd be kind of funny. have to scoot it down a little bit. Originally, I was going to do the arms crossed anyway, so. My biggest hang up with this one is I keep wanting to do like a hunched back for some reason. That's why it's probably noticeable that I stall when I get around the shoulders. It's because I keep thinking about doing a hunchback. Or hunched, not like a, not like a big hunchback. But. Okay, so that's the standard humanish neck. And neckline, but does it say where? Let me see if it says where we're running into these guys. No. Could do, what we could do is we could, if I get rid of the arms, we could do this one holding her stomach. Because there's one of them that's hungry. I kind of like that idea. Let's give that a whirl. So get rid of this. And then Start up here because she's going to be looking down. It's going to be a decent bend. Let's just do this. So she'll have to full on arc everything. And then maybe there. And if you're doing body bags and or potato sacks and um, you're familiar with the head count sketching, you can measure with heads. But the thing is, I like orc heads to be a little smaller than their massive physiques. So that doesn't really work when you're going out of proportion. It's great for realism, but measuring heads doesn't really work for illustration. Let's see, maybe. All right, so she's going to be holding it. So if she stays up against the wall, let's be a little more down, maybe here and there. Yeah, it may work. Hand's a little small. And you can do rough for this also, which I should have done. You just do a square for your hand. There you go. Get your size, your get your proportion, get your position. Um, if you're using gloves, you can even use that for your glove. I don't know that she's gonna have gloves, but arm needs to be a little more back. Close, not quite. Like here, yeah. And we don't want her to be as thick as the bugbear, so that they have not only distinction but personality. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But maybe she might be more ripped though. Let's see how she looks ripped. It could be cool. one thing's for sure, we're not going to make this another 4-day piece. Um, for those of you interested in the adventure, the expansion, it's already on BackerKit, so you can actually back it right now. Um, but I think there's only three or 4 days left, so we are not going to do another 4-day on this. Um, Probably just do a 3. So if I don't get the sketch done here soon, I may just do some homework. I dig it. I think that looks good. Keep that. Keep that. That's really about it. Okay. So our shoulder's going to be a little stressed there. I may have kept a little too much there. We'll get rid of a little. Yeah. Then maybe give her some veins. She can have more articulation in her muscular structure, um, or detail, whatever you want. Detail works. She can have some more detail because she is not just as big boned as the bugbear. She's just well defined to work. Okay, I like it. This was a much better idea. It's pretty close to what I was thinking originally anyway. Maybe I should have just gone with my original thoughts. I would have got here quicker. Her neck's throwing me off, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Maybe. Not sure what happened there. Okay. So if we do that, then it would be kind of like that. And now I could put a weapon in there like I wanted originally. Maybe resting her hand on it. That's not very straight. Here, I'll show you a Procreate trick. So, we want to do a straight line just to get the bearing. So you can put your line and then hold down, and it will automatically straighten it. And then if you press with another button while you're doing that, you see how it's clicking too there? It will automatically, literally straighten it. Like it will, oops, not sure what happened there. So you hold down with one, and then you press with the other and hold, and it will line it up with the direction of the page, like so. That's not where it was though. I had a smaller one. We'll do there. And then hold, and it lines it up with the direction of the page. Pull it, hold it, press, done. Yeah, she's looking really cool. So her chest is going to be right around there, and we can go like full muscular on her chest. Take advantage of that orc physique. Actually, we'll even expand it a little bit. She's got a big chest. Okay, and she's kind of at a hunch, so her rib cage is it's going to be caving, but it's also going up in the back, so her rib cage is it's going to sink in right around there. That may actually be too far. Probably like that. So she's going to have that collapsing look to her abs, of which she probably has some fantastic abs, like that. But then they're collapsing. Yeah. That's right, but it's not the right angle. So we just push that back a little bit, like that. Okay. And my arm's a little off. I noticed that as soon as I did it, it's really going to be right around there, I think. Right around there. Yeah. So the shoulder was right. And hand's a little too big though. Which made my arm a little too big. Or high. Too high. Okay, let's get rid of that arm. And then we're going to do the bicep and stuff. Because this is correct. And it's going to be fairly relaxed because of the position. And then it's going to come out like that. Yep. So the hand was off. Right around there, I think. Yep. There it is. Kind of want to get that muscle there. Yeah. Don't know what that muscle's called, but if you can get that muscle right on a picture, it just looks so good for some reason. Frazetta captured that muscle better than anybody. I love Frazetta. She's looking a little more realistic than my usual style, so I'll have to cartoon her up a little bit somehow. Um, the neck is off now, though. Or not neck, but back. Might just redo it. She is definitely going to be arched, but so for one, her chest is going to bulk up a little bit, or push up a little bit, and her breasts will as well. But let's see. And all of this probably could have been done a lot quicker by just, looking for models or poses um, beforehand, which you can do. Freehanding is it should really just be reserved for those who've done a shit ton of art. So, again, don't do things the way I do. Do things the way you do. That's so much better. That's all I needed to do that whole fucking time. That looks so much better. Okay. And her head's probably a little big. We'll shrink the head. Oh, it's really just doing it for the perspective and the pose. So, shrink it. Maybe there. Again, with the works, I like it to be a little small. There we go. Need to decide on what kind of boobs she's going to have. I'm going to make the chest down here, actually. Do that. So, get rid of this. She's pretty defined, which means she's probably not going to have much by the way of boobs. But it is fantasy, so she can really have whatever you want, technically. Oh, kind of got her twisting there too, don't I? Might need to fix that. There, which means there, which means there. Yeah, we'll have to doctor all this a little bit. Since the front is facing the direction it is now facing, you're going to be able to see more of her abdomen, crotch, and legs, both legs. Oh no, that's the good line. Yep. So I need to get rid of some of this. We got the hand right first try, so I'm not worried about messing with the hand right now, but we do want to do this. There we go. Our bugbear did not have much of a chin, and she had kind of a circular face, so we'll give our orc kind of an angled face with a bit more prominent chin. Bugbear's got big old feral, or I guess primal, feral? Wild, animalistic noses. So the orc chick's gonna have a smaller one. Um, but they can still be like non-human. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Like angled non-human? Bit more maybe? Yeah. Yet still kind of bubble nosed. I kind of like that. Let's do that. So let's make it a little broken, but still a bubble nose. Yeah, I dig that. And then she's kind of sneering at the growl, stomach growl. Let's make her jaws well defined as well. Maybe not that square. Just nailed his muscle right there. And when you're not dealing with crazy, non-anatomically um, familiar races and creatures, you can do lines for your face, like the eye line and the ear line will match up, stuff like that. Um, so there's plenty of drawing tricks for character design. But like I said, they don't necessarily add up for illustration um, when you're wanting it to be slightly non-realistic. So that's why I'm not using them. You generally just have to, when you're doing a new character, you're trying to nail down, how big you want their eyes, how big you want their gullet, how big you want their neck. And honestly, not all people um, fit into the scenarios that the drawing guides tell you anyway. I want her to have big eyes. I'm not necessarily going to keep them that open. She might be like half eyeing them, something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then you just get rid of most of the line. And again, most of this is for line art. This is really, you don't want to detail anything in the sketch phase that's not giving you guides for your line art. So we don't want to spend too much time on little shit like this. We just want to make sure we have made enough notations for ourselves that when we do the line art, we don't forget these things. That's all we're doing. Depending on how realistic you're going, you might put tear ducts in as well. All that shit's really up to you. They would be right there, of course. I like it as long as they're lined up right, which they're not. This one needs to come down a little bit, but I like the distance. I like the distance between the two. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then orcs have pointed ears, but not as big as the. I want to be down a little bit because she's down. So be like that. That's more of a vampire ear. We'll fix it. There we go. Now we'll have to fix her head also, but we got to move the picture around a little bit before we do that. She's looking cool though. Okay. So her head's going to attach. No, not yet. It's going to be behind the ear more because the angle she's at. Because the angle she's at, her head is going to attach behind her ear, but we can start headed that way. Her neck is going to be strong enough that it's going to curve a little bit as well. So right around there is where her head's going to be coming out. I said it right the first time and then I didn't do it. Okay, so her head's going to come out right around there. We'll go ahead and get the idea, and then we'll mess with the size. I think kind of like that. A little bit more. She's an orc. Kind of like that. Yep, like that. Now, my female orcs, I tend to not give as pronounced eyebrows, or brows, rather, but that's really up to you. That's just a personal preference. Um, they do get a fairly pronounced brow, but just not like orc dudes. And I kind of have them be more angular, like a T-Rex. But again, that's just me. Your female orcs may have the full-on big old brow. And I know one of the people requesting this picture likes a good bald orc. Um, I'm kind of feeling bald with her, but maybe also shaved. I think she might be a shaved bald or crew cut, something like that. Buzz cut, not crew cut. Maybe a buzz cut. Oh, she looks cool. I like her. But like I said, we need to shrink her because she's a little too tall for the frame. So we just do this. She'd also look good with like a ponytail. She'd look good with a ponytail. And now we can fix the hair, or head completely. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of giving her a shaved head. I also need to make sure that her head is not too big. All of a sudden it's pretty big. Pretty big. Or just her face even. Let's do that. Okay. Right size, right size. I don't think that much needs to be done with her. I'll give her some slight brows or eyebrows. Define her brows a little bit more. Maybe give her a little more distinct cheekbone. Help match that other one. Yeah, she's cool looking. Cool ladies. Those are cool ladies. What happened over there? Oh, that's funny. I guess I forgot that I had double layers. Or 2 layers. Okay. So now I need clothes. Oh, no, we need to figure out breasts. Let's do, we'll do a little bit bigger than mosquito bites. We'll do like that, which means it's going to be like that. Yeah. That works. Probably slightly bigger than they should be for her build, but work. And then this would just stretch a little bit more is all. Kind of like that. And I was thinking for her, some sort of crop top maybe. So one thing I like to do when I'm doing character design is I tend to, and we'll do this too, we'll group those two, and we'll add one here, and we'll group those two. And this is why. You can do that, and ta-da! There you go. So when I'm doing character design, I tend to put my clothing, unless I already know for sure what I want to do, I'll put my clothing, and even then I sometimes do it, put my clothing on an extra layer. Excuse me. I kind of want to do like a crop top something with her, like maybe with fur on it. I think that'd be kind of cool. Something right around there. And then I definitely wanted to do something like that with her. So she's going to look pretty 80s. Right around there, maybe. That one's too high. All right, so there we go. And then around there. So she's going to look pretty 80s, which I'm okay with. They didn't give any direction on a class or anything. Nope. So the description just made me think kind of barbarian. That's why I wanted to go this route. Yeah, so I'm thinking fur. We'll give her like patchy fur here. And maybe strap, like a strap across the chest or two. That'd be kind of cool. Instead of shoulder straps. Let's see, so shoulder straps would be like that. They both look cool. Tough decision. You can tell me what y'all think, but I think the shoulder straps look just as cool as the chest straps. Oh, I never finished her hand. While I'm thinking about the straps, I'll finish her hand. Actually, they're going to pull back a little bit at the bottom. There and there. This one will poke out more than the others because of the angle. Didn't take long. Wendigo are pretty cool as far as cryptids go for my top 5. Wendigo are pretty cool, but man, there's been a lot of different incarnations of Wendigo. You know, I always do the shoulder straps, so I think I'm going to do the chest straps on her. They both look good, so just going to do the chest straps. I don't think it is pulling down far enough. It's really going to come down there. Yeah, like that. And we can be funny with it. We can put a big old buckle right there, and it's facing the same direction. Ooh, actually, that kind of looks cool. Let's definitely have fun with that. Yeah. And it's facing the same direction as a female buckle. Because it's funny. And we'll give it a couple of... What are these called? I don't know what those are called. Prongs. Buckle prongs. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And actually, instead of those loops, let's do metal. Just a metal ring. Because then when we do the line art, we can make the metal rings kind of jagged, ugly, worn, rusted. Yeah, man. And the belt is like gathering up because her shoulder's coming in. See, this is what I'm talking about. I like the picture to actually tell stories. This is the shit that I focus on. Yeah. Okay. And that means we can give her more fur, but let's give a little bit more fur at the top. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, let's do a little bit more. Is her head still too big? Maybe. think it is. Maybe I just didn't save it. I may not have saved it after I shrunk it. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Pronounced chest. Nope, nope, nope. That means, nope, that's right. So, if it comes down like this, let's say it comes down like that, then we're going to need I think right around there, maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, I dig it. And then here we just get the little furs or fur patches. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm supposed to say there, I said it. Yeah, it looks cool. But we're gonna have to do it over there too, and then we're gonna have to do this over here too. Okay, you get the idea. And then I think we do like a patchwork. Yeah. Not too much, but in areas, I think we do a patchwork. And I'll detail all this more when we do the line art. But I like that a lot. That was a good call. Good job. Good job. Oh, that should be on the layer below. Fact. We can sacrifice that a little bit. That's not her belly button, that's just a single line. I kind of want her to have bare legs. I do. Um, which means maybe her underoos are kind of the same, kind of like Conan's. Let's see, maybe right around here. With orcs, I tend to do big belly armor a lot, so I kind of want to stay away from that with her. So maybe even play up the midriff and give her hip huggers. Yeah, I kind of like it. But we can do them fur as well. make these less patchy than the top. I think that looks kind of cool. Seams. Oh yeah, since I changed the perspective, it's really going to be like that. That needs to come down a bit. That needs to come down a bit more. There we go. She's probably got like a strap with a dagger or something here, which is again redundant. I do this all the time, but it's probably true. Oh, I didn't. I was looking at that one line, and I didn't get my perspective right on that. Yep. You mess one little thing up, and it could throw everything off. That was just liquefy, by the way. I got it working. So liquefy, you can literally just push the layer around. With liquefy, you can actually combine. Um, is that right? I think so. I'm doubting myself now. Liquefy. Yeah, you can. You can combine stuff, and then whatever you've got grouped, you can liquefy. Very handy. Yeah, I like her in just the Daisy Dukes, but let's put a little trim up here too. I think it'll just look better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Except that. Gloves, let's see. Let's do some like armored gloves maybe. Some sort of armored glove. We can do them patchwork as well. We can do them fur as well if we want, fitting the theme. Let's do like this, but then they can be tied. So tied around with cords. I kind of like that. Yeah, and I kind of want to do the same with her hand, but then you can't, then it would cover the hand up. Let's not do that. I don't want to cover that hand up. That arm is not nearly as big as the other one, is it? We can fix that. We can fix that. One way or the other. Maybe shrink this one a little bit. There we go. And then maybe some like have it tied, a little cloth. That looks pretty cool. Makes her look like a boxer. I dig it. Again, we're not getting too detailed because we're still just on the sketch. We just want to know what we're doing once we get to the next phase. Um, like deciding on their hair. We haven't done their hair yet. I like the orc chick's armor. I think that's good. I think that's detailed enough as well. I like the bare legs. Kind of a wrestler look. 80s wrestler. I like it. And then her hair. I don't know what to do about her hair. I still kind of want to do just like shaved head. See, doesn't that look cool? Maybe just a shaved head. I do the mohawk on female orcs all the time, so I'm trying my best to stay away from it, but I do love it so much. Maybe just a buzz. Like I said, John does love bald orcs. Alright, maybe we do this. I'm kind of meeting halfway in the middle. Halfway in the middle? I'm meeting halfway with myself. what I'm doing here. Oh, I have to do a little of this. Oh no. I have to do a little of this, but it's going to be worth it. I think it's too high. Too high. Oh no, 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 no. What am I doing? We'll just do it this way. There we go. Curly-haired orc. I dig it. And then the bugbear. Still don't know. Still don't know how to put back there either. Alright, so bugbear, 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 bugbear. I kind of want to, I'll be honest, I kind of want to give her like a winches outfit, you know, like that. Really corset, that'd be kind of cool. Of course, the corset would be around there, I guess. May not fit the character though. What I'll do is I'll draw it and I'll run it past them and see if they like the idea. I'm gonna assume it's a no. It's a cool idea though. You never see a bugbear in a wench's outfit. And then we can give her like, let's not get in front of the big eyebrows just yet. Because bugbears have a lot of hair. So I want her to have like a lot of hair. Like almost a beehive even. That's too much. I want it to look like, even though it's short, it's a lot, if that makes sense. Or short-ish. Maybe like that. Yeah, I'm sure liking it, but I'm not sure how feasible it is. I like the winch outfit. Orc looks great. We knocked it out with the orc. And I'll probably finish the sketch up tonight, and then tomorrow we'll get started on the line art. Um, I might try to get the bugbear winch okayed. We'll see. I guess I could send it to myself real quick. Make sure. Oh yeah, I never came up with my number five, did I? Let's see. Let's see. I can end that. Um, Number five, cryptid. Maybe werewolf, because they count. Elves are cool, but man, they're varied. Originally, elves were pretty small as well. Um, Cyclops are cool. Dragons, I guess dragons count. Oh, dragons count as cryptids. I can't believe it took me that long to figure that out, because that's pretty cut and dry. Boom. Problem solved. Problem solved. All right, we'll wrap that up a little earlier than the last few days, a little longer than the norm. Um, but I hope you learned something. If not, and there's something you need to know, like I said, put it in the comments. If there's something you'd like me to go over, put it in the comments. If you'd like to share your top five cryptids, please put it in the comments. I'll talk about anything. So if you got a question, hit me up. Um, don't have any clue what the top five is going to be tomorrow. I try not to plan that too far ahead on those. Like I said, I'll probably do the homework tonight, finish up the sketch, and then tomorrow we'll just do line art because this one's just going to be a 3 day. We're not going to let this one go 4. So that's that. I hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed the chill fellowship, and I will catch you on the flip